Hey, greetings, viewers. You're listening to the number one film commentator on YouTube, Von Fry. Today we're watching from 1988 the Jean-Claude Van Damme led Kung Fu Karate Martial Arts Tournament Extravaganza, Bloodsport. Now, first, I want to tell you something. We're doing things Rogan style, so let me just get my plugs and ads out of the way now, and then you can enjoy queuing this up with your viewing of Bloodsport. First, I demand quality utensils, and so should you. So I use Nork. It's like a knife, fork, only it doesn't cut your mouth. It has a beveled edge. It's great for slicing through food. And with this finger platform, it doesn't hurt your digits. So if you'd like to get 45% off, go to nork.net and use the promo code at checkout, FRY45. Okay, so are we ready to watch Bloodsport? If you'd like to queue up your viewing of the show on Netflix, oh, do I have to say show? The movie. I had a grandma who used to call it the show. Let's go to the show, the theater. Go to 0000 and hit play now. The trusty Metro Goldwyn Mayer Lion. Now when I see that, it seems to be put on top of movies that were not necessarily associated with them to begin with. See, because this is a canon film. So then we have that mark of quality that is canon, right? I feel like the shot over here at the start, it mimics Enter the Dragon. Yeah, let's show the city, and hell, it might even be from that. It's clearly stock that's not in keeping, not of the same quality of the rest of the film. It could have been shot in the 70s. That little flyover. And what do we got going on here? Bloodsport. Not a whoopsh, no fancy transition there. Donald Gibb. I enjoy him in this movie. Leah, is it Leah or Leah Ayres? Very fine. And Forrest Whitaker, an early film for him. Though I say early, this is a good 6 years after Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I'm going to set my Elite controller. I watch this on an Xbox, on Netflix, on a 40-some LCD. We're going to get a little montage here of fighters training. Bolo Yeung, also from Enter the Dragon. Oh yeah, Snap Snap. He's an old guy. I think he's like 48 at the time of this movie. Though one would not say. I don't think that Jungle Boy over here chopping the coconuts is using an actual martial art. But his, like, I guess we could call it monkey style. I know there's some kind of monkey thing, but I don't think that's what he's doing. But am I going to get in trouble for calling the African American guy the monkey? Am I canceled? Go ahead and get me canceled. Go get up on Twitter and use the hashtag VonFryPartyIsOver. Or Von Fry is canceled. Is it party's over or can't? Surprise me. Yeah, getting canceled on Twitter at this point could only help my career. I'm putting up my controller. Because it needs to charge. Here you could get killed. Only if I mess up, shall we say. I'm not even sure if that makes the TV edit. That guy right there, the sumo-esque guy, he kind of like E. Honda in Street Fighter, huh? Keep in mind, this is a year after the first Street Fighter. E. Honda shows up in Street Fighter 2. That's a 91 game. You never hear people talk about the original Street Fighter because it's awful. It kind of just seems like the whole series starts with 2, and then you pick up 1 because you see it's available on PC. It's actually somehow even worse than the arcade version, which isn't even really playable. We have a very wooden, glorified extra over here. Ah, Christ! It always comes down to me saying "ah, Christ," doesn't it? I can't remember what. Sheldon Ledwich. Trying to remember what else he's written. Names sound really familiar. Special extra or get Featured extra. That's it. It's when you talk a little bit, now you got to pay the guy some money. No shortage of military uniforms in canon films. Did I say unifilms? Uniforms? Yeah. This is a pretty short movie. It comes in at like an hour 32, credits included. And it would have been shorter if not for a totally ham-fisted in flashback trying to show how Frank Dux became a martial artist based on a true story. You kind of question a lot of that. You go to a tournament where people can fight. Okay. It's been said that this Frank Dux guy may have told a bit of a fib about the Kumite. Maybe he... I know that there was some vandalism at his place and he had to get a trophy repaired. But then people say the receipt on his trophy being repaired is the trophy being made. I mean, he seems to have an answer for a lot of the stuff. Although, at the end of the movie, we're going to see things about, like, fastest knockout or fastest kick. It's like, how do they measure that? Oh, they set up all these high-speed cameras. Hold on. They're going to a lot of trouble for an underground secret thing. And I'm not totally sure how they could have kept track of some of these speeds of kicks, like, type stuff. And this is supposed to be in the late 70s when this takes place, in my understanding. Here we have, like, the worst actor ever playing young Jean-Claude Van Damme, looking nothing like him. Hey, come on, get in. Yeah, it's cool. Well, look, it's a sword. No one's gonna get hurt. Oh, shit, he's coming. You could hit him with that sword. I'm just gonna stand here. I'll slowly pick up the sword. Not a lot of thought put into the screenplay, right this way, or maybe the directing. No sense of urgency. Oh, little Asian boy beats up the bigger American kid. That's enough, Shingo. Go to your studies. You kicked him once, you knocked him down. And when does this take place? Because I see Nikes, and I don't think Nike was very popular in the... I'd have to say 60s when this is taking place, this flashback. I wasn't going to steal it. Dude, you got a San Francisco Giants cap, right? Is that San Francisco? And a New York Giants shirt. So which you just really like Giants. He desires to learn martial science. What do you mean by martial science? Weren't we saying martial arts by now? I came here to grow fish in a hatchery. That's why you came to America? Like vines, children need training. It's quite possible, and look, canon had a history and a habit of trying to ride the wave of what was popular. Very seldom were they able to create the trend. I think Electric Boogaloo, Breakin', actually, not Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, but the first Breakin', both of them came out in 1984 because they were quick to try to get in on that. First Breakin', I think it made like $100 million. It's also the first... I believe the first American film, if not the first film overall, to have Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does a little bit of dancing in the background. So that I think that's where his relationship with canon gets started. But are they looking at The Karate Kid going, wow, that made a lot of dough. Everybody loves it. I think it's a bit overrated. And they're going, okay, we have to find some way to Karate Kid this up. Granted in 1988, a good 4 years after the fact. So let's have kind of troublemaker got into some trouble, led by some kids. He meets his Mr. Miyagi, right? And somehow the kid died. I feel I lost part of that. Shingo and I were close friends, like brothers. Okay. So now you have to go to the tournament or not? Like there's a lot of weird cutting back to present day. It's hard to tell if this is a flashback, also just more recent. But Frank Dux in the Air Force, right? He has gone AWOL, and he's going to have guys hunting him down. And one of the guys on his tail, Forrest Whitaker, whom you may know as constantly getting killed off in movies now because he has to give the exposition. And that's the crime, you know. Yes, well, you don't want to live in Hiroshima. Or Hiroshima, however we're saying this. I wasn't leaving Japan to not get bombed. I was leaving Japan to grow fish in a hatchery. I'm actually going to turn up my volume slightly, as I don't think it's going to pick up in my rather sensitive mic. It's very sensitive in a unidirectional type way, but teach me, I can do it. Okay, yeah, so here's another flashback. We'll get a different hairstyle out of Van Damme, but this is it. Van Damme is going to get trained up. Though I think Kickboxer does a better job with the training. Oh no, he's getting tossed around. We're not seeing it, we're just kind of getting a stern Mr. Miyagi. Or sorry, not Mr. Miyagi. It just says groans in the subtitles. And you're getting tossed. Did he say what the martial art was? With all the tossing, maybe it's judo. Well, yeah, you come at me, I get to hit you with sticks. That's what we're going to do. One of the things this movie does decent is it comes with the music. The music gets you kind of pumped, and it does have some exciting fights in it. Oh, look, he's got the elevated miniature fighting platform, which I don't know why the elevation would be like that. It's something unique to Bloodsport. I haven't seen that anywhere else since. I don't see it in video games or nothing. Speaking of video games, there's some thought that this is inspiration for Mortal Kombat, and that Jean-Claude Van Damme was to play Johnny Cage, and Johnny Cage is dressed as Jean-Claude Van Damme's Frank Dux in this film, but instead Van Damme got into Street Fighter. The splits, yeah. Very important that you be able to do this blindfolded foreshadowing. Come on, you can serve tea blindfolded? Nice. Do you think that's a real blindfold? You can't make out his eyes through there. It's not like Robert Wagner's eye patch. Uh-oh, we're going to test him, and there you go for the strike. What, did he strike so fast the wind chimes picked up, and that's supposed to give him the signal? Not sure what not Miyagi's wearing right there, but it looks cool. I know I'm going to feel stupid for not recognizing not Miyagi here. Hell, he was probably in like probably some important movies because he's got this stern kind of look about him, doesn't he? Like, what if he's in Seven Samurai and I just don't realize it? I think in a lot of ways this movie would have done better to progress up instead of prolonged flashback like this. And we are stretching with the trees, though we already saw that he can do amazing splits, so I don't think this is that necessary. But hey, I'm not the martial science expert. Ah, yes, you're centering your mind. Van Damme always had this look about him when he got kind of he got pissed, but at the same time studied himself, and he got this kind of like slightly shut eye thing going. Oh, he's pulling himself together. He's so strong. The weird thing with Van Damme is that he falls in with canon, and it's not like they misused him. I mean, they gave him martial arts stuff, but then he goes to Universal, and it's with Universal he gets some bigger hits. But when we're looking back at the grand scheme of things, it's not like everybody's talking about Universal Soldier and Time Cop and Sudden Death. It's kind of weird. People know of Jean-Claude Van Damme so well, but his movies are not massive successes. Time Cop being the largest, I think it made 140 million worldwide, which is pretty good in '94. Now, if your movie makes less than $1 billion, you're a loser. So there's that. I mean, hell, we had Justice League made like 700 million and it's a flop, right? All right, you're ready. I give you the sword that you came to steal. All right, hand on the shoulder. You don't want him to chop your arm off, do you? Is what you're suggesting? And that, guys, was a flashback. And we're returning back to Van Damme as he's kind of like looking over in the house. He just paused for years to admire the flashback, take that all in. Got a cool look about him. He's got the leather jacket with the sleeves pushed up. Do you sleep with your eyes open? Shit. Didn't they say Curly did in City Slickers? Or could? I'm going to go to the Kumite to honor you. Not a lot of reasons to get Frank Dux to the Kumite. You have to drum up the drama of the Air Force being on his tail. Is there that good of a reward to winning this? It's very odd. Yeah, we're gonna meet our American over here. They're actually going to play an arcade game. I think it's Karate Fighter. It's one of, if not the first, one-on-one fighting game. You'll see it. And boy, is it simple. And with that in mind, I guess one could think, wow, Street Fighter, the characters are so big and lifelike at the time compared to just pixels. Like oh, hey, it looks like a guy with red hair and a gi. And little tiny shoes. Okay, I'm a reporter here, and see, there's not a lot of Americans around, not a lot of white people, so guess who's gonna be my romantic interest? No one wants to tell her about the Kumite. Come on, get out of here. Hey, you gonna challenge me? Huh? Oh, I'll try. There's a thing about video games being played in like the 80s. People just show up and they're good at them, no practice, no, don't even know the buttons or anything. I could give it a shot. See, look how simple this is compared to. And is that the? Are those the proper controls? Is it two uh, joysticks working the movement and the striking? I'm not sure. I haven't played that game. Just stood there and got punched in the face. Yeah, well, I'd say you take the L. You can see me fight at the Kumite. I don't really understand the friendship between these two because you're in the tournament, you're in the same tournament. Pretty good chance that if you're both good, you'd eventually fight each other. But it's almost made out in like a team effort. How it's like I'm gonna get the revenge, right? So how does that work out? Name's Ray Jackson. They made some sequels to this, starring Daniel Bernhardt. I think he was in Mortal Kombat Conquest, which would come on after WCW Monday Night Nitro, or is it Monday Nitro? I'm trying to. It was on Monday nights, and it was a Mortal Kombat esque show. Took place way before the Mortal Kombat movies, and Daniel played. I don't remember who in the Mortal Kombat Conquest. Kirstana Loken was in it, and it was like her first thing. She goes on to be in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. But yeah, it was a thing. I saw a little bit of Bloodsport 2. Ray Jackson is there, and so you get your coherency between the two out of that. Uh, a little something about Jean-Claude Van Damme leaving what could be a series for him, you know? I'm Lynn. You Jackson? You look like a Jackson. What, like Michael Jackson? Frank Dux? That's Dukes. Like, put up your Dukes. For a movie that I don't think performed all that well, it has a cult following like status. There are phrases from this people know. There's words from this. The dim mock, right? You can use dim mock in a stand-up special and you'll get some laughs. It could happen. A few phrases. Okay, USA, right? The walled city, not a place for outsiders. You are in Hong Kong. But you're about to cross the invisible border into mainland China. No man's land, huh? We don't know who governs here. Is it going to be the British? Is it going to be the Chinese? Huh? No one knows, so you get to do underground fighting. Ah, yes, luxury high rises. Why the long face? I looked them over. Yeah, they look white enough. And yeah, you know things are getting seedy when you go down the dark alley. Dark alley in the middle of the day. Baby crying, water dripping. Oh, all the horrors. Yes. Rats squeaking. Oh, yeah, this has everything. How does word get out of a secret tournament that could attract people from around the world? As tournament fighting movies go, of this, of course, being you you could say a fabrication. It's more realistic than Mortal Kombat. There's actually a tournament in it. There isn't a fighting tournament in any Street Fighter film, so that's weird enough. Mortal Kombat has certainly some unrealism about it. But Enter the Dragon's probably number one in its martial arts tournament film category. Karate Kid, not really a tournament film. There's a tournament at the end, right? We're not doing that. All right, this looks like the training facility. We got judges. We've got a platform that's raised, but the sides are not at a greater height than they should be yet. We'll adjust that for later. Show the Dragon Boys your invitation. You got to qualify to prove to them you can step onto the runway. Oh, so we're modeling. Yeah, I've got some invitations here. Yeah, they look like the same beige paper. The Tanaka clan. You don't look like Tanaka. He says Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi. I don't hear Shidoshi brought up a lot in other films. Maybe go with Sensei Dimmak. What's a Dimmak, right? The hell's a Dimmak? Death Touch. Oh, I love the music on this scene. This scene is so cool. I'm actually going to crank this up. We got Van Damme, shirt's coming off, and yeah, he's pretty well jacked for a flexible guy. I kind of think that Van Damme is what Sylvester Stallone wanted to look like in a way. Like he thought he could look like that. Pick a brick. No. Everything just goes silent. The non-diegetic score cuts off. Bottom one. Everybody shifts focus. Like, huh? What? What kind of tasks did these guys have to do to prove that they got in? There's Chun-Li in the background. It's Chung-Li. Chun-Li being in Street Fighter 2, which comes after this, by the way. You hear that music kick in. It's like mystical, like he's going to do something special. We got slow-mo. Look at the eyes bulging. Bam! That is cool. Whoa. Yeah. These guys are impressed, but they don't want to show it. Are they good enough, guys? Come on. Now, what does Ray Jackson need to do? Yeah, what'd you do, Ray? Come on. There's a little bit of applause over there. Very good, but brick not hit back. Wow, so creative. It's almost like boards don't hit back, only not as cool. That's very Canon Films of you. Uh-oh. Is the Air Force going to get involved here? Here's a picture of the man we're looking for. His name is Frank Dux. No, it's Dukes. Like, put up your Dukes. His name was on a list. Almost a shame. Kind of a waste of Forrest Whitaker here. We couldn't get him in on the tournament. Theoretically, he's the biggest star in this movie. I mean, hell, he's showing up in projects that are making big money today. Jean-Claude Van Damme could do to get in on something like that instead of a Kickboxer reboot mentor role. We know the Kumite is happening. How does everybody know about the Kumite? You know he's here for the secret underground thing no one's supposed to be talking about? This would have failed the Fight Club standards of not talking about it. Oh, you'll see what you can do, all right. Everybody knows about the Kumite except the reporter trying to report on it. Oh man, he's about to give her a little bit of Middle East girlfriend justice. The American shit who takes tricks with bricks, huh? Oh, now with Ray Jackson involved, maybe these guys will butt out. You get thrown out of the Kumite where you can get away with murder for fighting before the Kumite. This must be a part that Steven Seagal must have liked over here. Some kind of fast hand move type thing, huh? Here, you do that. We're going to play patty cake really fast. If I beat you, you have to leave town. I want to show off to the lady how quick I am. Yeah, she'll like it. Hope you know what you're doing. I grabbed a fish. I can do this. Ha! Didn't even look. He switched coins on me? Whoa. Looks like she's mine. Yeah, that's how girls like. They like to be told they're being fought over. That's how it works. Well, no one gave me information on the Kumite. I had to go to the Arabs. How you like that style? Kind of a puffy, double breast pocket silk shirt thing going. It's a far cry from that pushed up leather jacket. It's personal. My Shidoshi needed me to do this for reasons. It is like a cockfight with people. Yeah, well described. We all put on our metal talons and we run around in the ring. You agree to go to dinner with me. Tomorrow night, I'll tell you about the Kumite. Oh, yeah, she's in. Damn, that hurts me just looking at it. It's not going to be the last time we see the splits. The thing about Van Damme splits is that it's not as what one would okay, can you do the splits, and then someone demonstrates. He goes underneath, like his legs go up higher. His butt is lower to the ground than where his feet are. And that's not a split move you see done a lot. I'm ready. I got myself in my splits. Does hitting the splits like that help you with the high kicks? Does it help you with the helicopter kick? What does adrenaline smell like? I have to question what Ray Jackson's martial art is. It seems to be American pro wrestling. Gong bangs. A little weird that we don't have some kind of adversarial role out of the guy running the tournament, like plotting against Van Damme. That would be the typical way you would expect this to go, wouldn't it? I mean, it was like that in Enter the Dragon. It's like that in Mortal Kombat. Uh, shoot, it's like that for Street Fighter for the most part. No tournament in the film, but you get what I'm saying. International Fighting Sports, a co-sponsor for this event. Sponsor, man, we got companies over here worried about getting canceled over saying things like I don't support it when people dishonor the American flag. You got people co-sponsoring a death tournament. That's the one referee, I believe, in the coffee stained gi. I do wonder how bets are taken here. You'll see a lot of like just paper being exchanged. Who's writing that down? Who's keeping track of this? They went to the trouble of writing out the guys' names and posting them up on the boards. I like that. Well, let's see. What do we got here? We got a guy in a gi. He's kind of. Now remember, it's full contact. There are 3 ways to win. Now you want to remind these guys how to win. Mate. It's like saying uncle. Throw him out of the ring. And what was the first one? Was it just beat him up or points or something? I wasn't paying too much attention. Is that kind of a kickboxer style versus, I don't know. I think there's some ways that this inspired the UFC. It's like, what happens if we put the different trained disciplines together and see whose is best? And that was an early goal of the UFC. And eventually it just found that people were training in mixed martial arts. Just the collection of let's borrow from this and that, and then everybody has the same style now, to the point I think it makes the UFC boring, frankly. Because everybody has like a textbook for how to go about fighting in the UFC at this point. Knocked him out of the ring, and everyone throws money at him. Or are those tickets from bets? I guess I don't understand the culture. Oh, we have time. I'm going to show you how it's done. Ray Jackson not in the best shape. Looks like he's taking on not the lead singer of Aha. And here we go. Yeah, show us those martial arts skills, Ray Jackson. Just one overhead smash to the face. Well, on the nose, yeah, I guess you could do something with that. You know, why is he calling out Bolo? Like, this guy's like, is this guy serious? You're gunning for me already? All right, I'm gonna make some shit personal for you. I think was it mentioned that he was the previous champion? Yes, you have permission to try to wipe that up. What took you so long? Oh, real funny. It's Chong Li, not Chung Li. Okay, whatever. Chong Li, the current champ. There we go. He's never been defeated. Holds all the records, including the fastest KO. He killed a guy during the last Kumite. Yep. Kicked poor Bass right in the throat. Stood there and watched him die. Yeah, well, what'd you expect him to do? Give him mouth to mouth? So I guess Ray Jackson knows his Chung Li backstory better than Frank Dux, and therefore knows about that. Oh, yeah, the Chung Li nostril blow thing. I think we didn't see anything come out there, but we will, and it is kind of gross. Yeah, like the UFC's early iterations, it's a no weight class scenario. It's going to be a lot of skinny guys losing to bigger guys. It's like, hey, I've got him asleep right here. You guys want to chant for it? All right, there you go. Did you knock him out and then win, or because you threw him out of the ring as he had rolled out of the ring? New record for the fight. Frank Dux finally gets into action here. Hey, he's got the full gi going on in this one. This is just a warm-up. Stay down. He sort of force knocked him out like a Stay down, huh? These are the droids you're looking for, right? Uh-oh, after the fight this guy gets up and he wants a piece after all. That would be a hard elbow to the chin to fake. Honestly, that you want to make sure you don't bite your tongue on that one. New world record. 12.2? Is that what we're looking at? Yeah, that's my buddy. Let's go out. What do we got there? His gold tooth falls out. Oh. What should I do about that? Huh? I ran over there and snatched me a gold tooth. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, there. Oh, yeah. This is a comic relief effort. I would not bother biting that, underdog. Looks like we're doing a little bit of a dance. I like the slow motion in this movie. It's really quite good compared to a lot of contemporary films where slow motion wasn't necessarily shot in high speed and it would just be done in post and end up kind of blurry. We're seeing monkey style here, as I will call it. Jungle life, far away from nowhere, do. Like Tarzan boy, do. And when I used to watch this in the early '90s, I just kind of thought it was cool seeing all the different styles get some kind of representation here. Kumite. Yeah, there's more effort put into the music in this than there is in Marvel's MCU. I think you could kind of credit the song styles here to something like Rocky, where it's particularly Rocky 3. After Rocky 3, it's like, okay, everything has to have some kind of song in the middle of the fight montage type thing. This guy's not done beating him up. Oh, come on. If Ray Jackson walked in the room and immediately throws this guy out, he'd have the world record. Oh, what was that move? You pushed him in the arm? Oh, we got the big guy giving the backbreaker. Not the most authentic fall over, but whatever. Nice, was it spinning inside crescent kick from Van Damme? We got some peck popping from Chung Lee. Bolo Yeung actually had changed his name, stage name, so to be that of his character in Enter the Dragon, Bolo. So he would also go on to fight Van Damme in, what was it, where where there's Van Damme twins. Damn it. It's not Twin Dragons. It's Double Trouble or some not Double Team. I think that's also a Van Damme, but Dennis Rodman movie. Uh-oh, the Air Force guys have caught up. Ah, now it's killing me that I can't remember the name of that movie. It's like 1990 or 91. I know that there was a reality show that kind of followed Van Damme around this a few years back, and he comes across, probably not totally random, but at a restaurant he comes across Bolo Yeung, and he was all over him. He's like, I looked up this guy so much. I'm so glad to have worked with him. He must have admired Bolo's abilities, and he was given some martial arts films in his own in the 70s. Alright, we're going to look up Van Damme movies. Double Impact. Watch out for the giant taser. Yeah, we also have a music accompanying this chase for reasons. I've got my gold jacket on, you know, I just got into the NFL Hall of Fame. Does this movie make you want to visit Hong Kong? Probably not. Hey guys, I'm over here. It's such a weird, playful bit. You imagine how many takes they may have spent on this movie. Being Canon Films, I would guess not many. If this is Hollywood, I mean, this is putting a lot of miles on Forrest Whitaker and the old guy. Whoa, running across those boats. Yeah, no one will mind. Thunk. Anytime you do a stunt like that, somebody's got to fall in the water. And look, they fall in slow motion even. It's got to be pretty shallow. See ya. So it sprinkles in more cartooning-ish with the having to spit the water out, right, after you fall in. Sounds wild. Oh, come on, you'll get to come by and see. I really want this for my story. Let me in. They have strict rules, no press, but they have sponsors. Like, man, ain't that something? We're going to sponsor something nobody's allowed to watch. Did Forrest Whitaker and Jean-Claude Van Damme ever re-team? Because not to my recollection. She's really into this story, Frank. Well, you did win her, so I guess she's going to be in the bed. And a super gratuitous buttock shot from Van Damme. He had a thing going where he felt like the appeal to the women viewers in his films, he had to have an ass shot in a movie. It may not always be the case with some of the more expensive fare from Universal, but whenever you see that worked in, that is the reason. Good luck today. Thanks. Such deep conversation. Still won't let her come to the Kumite. Wow. And what do we have for day 2? And not a lot of time between fights. Was that one day? And he's like, okay, so you're going to come to dinner with me tomorrow, right? And there she is. She's sneaking in the background. She's a date with a rich dude, right? I don't know. I think Van Damme's oblivious. Didn't even notice her. That's not a dim mock. Oh, yeah? Yeah, do these guys really need him to prove any kind of way to get in at this point? He's already done some fights. Keep in mind that when the UFC started up, it was like everybody's fighting in one night. The winner won like, what, 3 or 4 matches? What? You got in after all. Yeah, see, I think she looks pretty hot there. Yeah. And a kind of Vanna White vibe. Oh, is Frank Dux sponsored by Puma? Is that what I'm seeing? It's definitely a runway. Look how long this fighting surface is. If you're going to start a fighting organization, call it the Kumite and have a platform. This runway. What they end up raising the sides, and I don't see it here. This looks level and flat, but for just some reason later in the movie, what, we need to get some cooler high kicks in? Oh, come on. It's a fight with no characters with a name. Why would we care about this? I've got my red gi on today. I'm like Tiger Woods, feeling good this round. That's not final round. I mean, Does he go into fights later with just the bicycle shorts, or does he get stripped down during the fight? I'm trying to think. A lot of casting choices when it comes to the action film stuff. It's like, oh, what sport are they known for? In Van Damme's case, I think he did some what semi-pro bodybuilding and a little bit of tournament fighting. I can't remember the discipline in particular, but it sort of in the vein of Chuck Norris, where Chuck Norris had like an undefeated record in his weight class, and I think it was karate. There was trying to think, what was the damn what the guy from the mobile pizza movie with Jackie Chan, what, Benny the Jet Ukides, I think it's Ukides. He also had like this 200 win no loss type thing going for him, this mythos, and that was in kickboxing. Nice high jump right there. And in Van Damme's fights here, and honestly, I can't remember Van Damme having a stunt double in fighting sequences. And you see a lot of stunt doubles for many other guys in action films when it comes to fights. But off the top of my head, I can't think of a noticeable stunt double scenario for Van Damme. Well, yeah, we're just disposing of people left, right, and center. Come on, you're telling me these are not deaths that are occurring? This guy has a kind of a Shaolin monk style about him. It's kind of like low center of gravity thing going. He looks quite short. I'm going to peg him at maybe 5'1". Hell, if that. Oh no, kicked and spun around. This dude over here, he's got the crazy look about him. He's got the I don't know what we'd call his look here. Crackhead. Oh yeah. You just saw me for the first time today and I'm giving you all these gestures. Yeah. I like his shorts though. That's the way people should be boxing. Yeah, boxing shorts these days have gotten immense. Like they've traded places with NBA shorts, I'll tell you. This is where the first fight where things get interesting. It's like we have guys we saw in the training montage at the beginning of the movie finally meeting up. We got Monkey Fu versus Sumo. And you're definitely pulling for Monkey style, honestly. I mean, it's the exciting one. Uh-oh, he's got a hold of you. Oh, you broke free. You got to keep the movement. Circle the ring, dude. Now, what do you think sumo-like dude over here is weighing, anyhow? He's not quite the sumo build, but the closest thing to it in the film. Now, we even had celebratory arms flying up in slow motion, kind of odd. Man, I like the way Chong Li plays to the crowd. Like, okay, guys, now you ready for this? All right, you guys vote. How do you want me to finish them? Like, that's the kind of the inference you're getting here. Oh, finally, Dux is going up against Sumo. He figures, look, I'm gonna take the gi off because I don't want this guy catching me. Van Damme can kick really fast. Uh-oh. He grabbed it, and there goes some splits. Oh, you don't want to get punched in the leg from that position, that's for sure. Notice how this isn't ground and pound, which became the tackle, the double leg takedown, that sort of stuff that became staples in the UFC. You never see that in an action film, despite however many people are fighting in a bar or anything, because it's not deemed that entertaining. It's a lot of the grappling, the cuddling on the ground. It's not cinematic. You give him a dim mock to the stomach. And you know it's a dim mock because he had to do the eye thing. What do you do? Do you break the organs internally? Push him out the backside? That would have been so cool. If you were trying to do a movie like that now, it would be super unrealistic with there'd be exploding blood gushing all over the place is the way they'd go about this. We got the split punch to the ball region. A move that Johnny Cage uses, further emphasizing also Johnny Cage is a movie star who's looking for legitimacy. So it's like Johnny Cage is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Mortal Kombat makes it huge without Jean-Claude Van Damme in for that license. Can you imagine the ramifications and possibilities for Jean-Claude Van Damme going forward if he was tied intricately with Mortal Kombat? He would have certainly been in the Mortal Kombat movie, and he wouldn't have gotten into the Street Fighter film. Street Fighter that 94 film seems to come about from Van Damme not getting in on Mortal Kombat in 92. I think, okay, I got to make up for that somehow. Let's do the Street Fighter movie. It seems to be the honest to it. Ray Jackson versus Chun-Li. Here we go. Barroom Blitz style out of Ray Jackson. He's getting some good hits in here. Why are you turning your back on him? Come on, keep going. What are you doing? I mean, right now, wouldn't you say Mortal Kombat's bigger than Van Damme? Van Damme could, even as they phase out the digitized graphics from the stunt performers, they could still do a voice of Johnny Cage. Keep that going for him. Would have had several Mortal Kombat films lined up, I'm sure. At least it would have afforded us not to have to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation. No, he's holding him back. No. A lot of no yelling. And yeah, he just has a little bit of blood on the surface. What's so bad here? Snatches the do-rag. You like that? Chong-Li, Chong-Li. Ha, it's mine, Harley Davidson. No, that doesn't mean you get to keep his Harley. We don't even know if he has one. It's certainly not in Hong Kong. Van Damme giving the "you'll pay for this" eyes. Chun-Li, so few words. All he says is the bricks don't hit back, and I don't think he talks again. No, actually, I think right before their big fight, he says something. Look, I'm going to do to you what I did to your friend. Somebody please re-edit this movie into a romantic comedy between Frank Dux and Ray Jackson, please. Oh, come on, you got blood coming out of the gauze? How is that? Janice, stay out of this. And Van Damme was not the worst actor. He has some comedic playfulness to him. You could see the emoting in the eyes. And the weird thing is, it's not like he got all the worst movies. He had a pretty okay run. My father was a reporter. Why are they fighting? They just go to the tournament and win. There you go. You're covering the story. That's all we need to know. The first Westerner to win this thing. Yeah, well, it seems like not a lot of Westerners get invited, so that seems to kind of be the trade off to that. Oh no, she's gonna rat him out. Oh, oh, oh. She spilled the beans. We're gonna rocky up this montage of revenge over here. It's not quite a. There's no easy way out when you're on a bus instead of a Lamborghini Yalpa. Oh, I see him. Reflection. He's in my mind. More splits. Is this the most splitty movie ever? What was the split count? Oh man, there two in training. He got pulled on the leg by the sumo. Did the splits again. Did a pre-fight one? I mean, gosh sake. Yeah, there was two training, pre-fight, split. The sumo fight had two. What is this, number 6? And then we're gonna. This might be the last splits. Might be the last splits of the movie. End of the road. You ain't going to the finals. Uh-oh. We got the local authorities. I kind of think you could get substantial trouble for fighting off the military and outside of America. But what do I know? I'm not the martial science expert here. Uh-oh, he's bringing out the tasers. I think these things have slimmed down some since then. Boom, Ricochet. Oh, you don't want to be the bystander. Ha, now I've got the taser. I think you may have to now collect those from the guys you hit. I think they stay inside. It's not like you can... It's reloading. It's not a gun. Alright, I'll go back home, but after the tournament. Can you believe this? Follow me. These guys end up just watching and cheering him on. Oh, it's too late, you say? No such thing as too late. Take some... Yeah, we're gonna bribe the judges, and now I'm gonna unbribe because he's here. Unbribe. Oh, we dropped the F-bomb in here. You don't hear that when this was playing on, what, TNT? Man, did this play on TNT back in the day. It was TNT or TBS. One of the two, if not both, and alternating nights. I mean, there was just a certain set of guys' action movies that would play on basic cable. This, Roadhouse. Roadhouse is actually the most cable-played movie of all time. It has a Guinness Book World Record for that. There would always be a Seagal movie snuck in there in some capacity, yeah. Okay, come on, we're gonna put our knuckles together. That's my style. And then Cheap Shot. Yeah. Is that this guy's name? Cheap Shot? We never could get those stains out, could we? Is our fighting surface now slightly elevated? We got the mystical type score. Kind of kicking in some here, liking it. Oh, yeah, let's just trade shots over here. Keep going. Yeah, this is totally what would happen in the UFC, guys. Just before the UFC. It's so far ahead of its time. They've got a strict rule, no reporters, but we will bring in some Americans who are with the Air Force trying to bring back one of the fighters. We'll let you watch. You're going to have a tournament where if multiple fights in a day, I mean, look, what? Somebody like Mayweather, he's going to bring home 200 million in a night, but it's going to be like a year between fights or so, right? Like a big time boxing, you get 6 months apart, more than that even. Several fights in a day, let alone over the course of a few days, you've had a huge number of fights. And one of the things that people dispute with the Frank Dux story is how many matches he said he was in for the tournament. It's like, how many people participate in this tournament? Because to have a tournament with as many entries as he claims, it would be like a staggering number. There's some math for it that suggests that there's more people than were alive in the world at the time. Like it was like a staggering amount. Ooh. Really? That guy got far enough to take on Chong Li? Uh-oh. They're really cheering for it, and here it comes. You have some personal grudge against this dude? Punch to the head. What, he dim mock his forehead? And then he gives him a twist. And she looks away. The referee kind of looks on for that. It's not a, oh, hey, it looks like you beat the guy, now I'm going to pull him off. No. Look at how Chung Lee really vibes with the crowd. He feeds off the energy. Come on, everybody, pump up. Chung Lee, come on. They're not that put off that he killed a guy. He's still getting cheers. We must give a moment of silence here for the fighter. I turn my back in disgrace. That's what this is. Or are we praying to the statue? One or the other. Oh, now they're upset? You guys saw it all happen and you were cheering. Here we go. You are next. I want to be in movies and have a role as big as Bolo Yeung with the same amount of words spoken. Yeah, forget you guys. I still want my glory, though. What are the odds? Man, who had the most impressive showing thus far? I would think the smart money would be on Bolo. I mean, he only killed a guy, right? Prepare the platform for the final match. Is this where we decide that now we're going to raise the edges? Yeah, now, so all of a sudden, we've sunk the middle of the platform and thus making the edges raised, elevated. I have no idea why. So we can get more kicking, jumping around kicks going. Give me a chalk pellet here in the groin. Looking at that, you're kind of thinking, okay, he's got, why is he dropping a pill down to his dick, right? Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Oh, a little psychological warfare here. Got the Harley Davidson bandana on the knee. A little something for you to think about. They said prepare the platform. We never saw them working on the platform. It just appeared different. All right, Frank, it's just like you trained, remember? You had the little raised platform in the Japanese guy's backyard. What is that surface like? It seems to have a cotton bedspread cover type thing over it. I'm not so sure. You break my record, now I break you. Like I break your friend. Yeah, pointing it out just in case you didn't get the picture already and reminding him for the audience, of course. I could have sworn we would see snot fly out of that nose at some point. Or did they edit that out? A little bit of dirty fight here. We're going to bring the ref in and I'll kick off of you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. You know the surest way is to knock a guy off the platform, right? So that should be the goal. And something odd that you can't really do this movie again in the same way. It tie drama with something like oh gosh, what, the guy who played Bane, he did like that mixed martial arts film. What was it, like Undisputed or Undefeated or something? It's not Undisputed, but At any rate, you're going to have to go high drama because the action in this is so grounded in reality. And now whole cities and planets have to be blown up to be exciting enough to quench the thirst of spectacle. You can't just have two humans fight martial arts in a movie anymore. The time where that was compelling has come and gone. All this stuff has been replaced by CG one way or another. It's just the way it is. And just from a storytelling perspective, when you couldn't show planets blowing up all over the place, realistically, this is how you got your spectacle fix. Ah, crazy eyes. Yeah, nice flip. Was that Van Damme doing the flip? It appeared to be. I did land a front flip when I was like 9 or 10. I think I was 9. I landed a front flip on a hard surface on my first attempt. Just kids challenged me to do it. Uh-oh, I've got my dick powder. So you crunch up the tablet, and that gives you something to throw. Yep, no one will notice that you threw that in his eye. Is there no way to get disqualified from this? Oh, that's right. If you fight before the tournament, you're disqualified. The music kind of like sinks in. The slow motion. What? My eyes are blurry. There's what's wrong with him? They do a good job demonstrating this here. Oh no. Look, your vision's a little blurry. You're not going to punch nobody. You're just not going to see the guy you're punching so well. Oh no. A slap upside the head. Okay, look. Chung Li, all you got to do is just kind of like pick him up by the board shorts here and just give him a little toss over the edge. That's what you need to do. Maybe he just couldn't get access to enough dry cleaners today that he just didn't have anything else clean other than the bike shorts. Oh man, high definition. The bike shorts are slightly see-through-ish. I think you can see a bit of jockstrap under there. Chung Li the showman. Oh no. Yeah, someone's got to pull back the reporter. I like the music, man. It sets the mood. There's a struggle to this. But come on, you could move T around for your master and his old lady. Blindfold, you can do this, man. Boom. Yeah, see. This yell thing right here, I saw this a lot in promotions for TBS or TNT movie night stuff. We're going to get our flashbacks going. Are we going to count that as a split to be added, even though it's already been used, a recycled split? Boom, catches the hand, and he's just kind of looking on aghast. Yeah, I'll fight you blind, baby. And there's people who seem to be making changes to their wager, like during the fight at times. It's kind of confusing me. Hold on, I feel a shirt. You can't be Chung Li. You stay over there. Oh, can you use the ref to spot your kick? What are the rules? All right, come on, somebody make a move. Imagine that how unthrilling this would be with if it was realistic to today's UFC. One kick to the head, the guy jumps on him, the referee waves him off, your final battle's over right away. We're gonna get a patented Van Damme helicopter kick in here. Air splits, we will count that. That counts as more splits. Is that 7 splits in a movie? Yeah, let's get those flexes in after these moves. And there's the helicopter. Oh yeah, Van Damme's daughter. Is her name? Her name's Bree. I think she goes by instead of Van. She should be going by Van Damme. I think the last name she goes by is Bree, but she can do his moves. She does the kicks. She does the splits. And she looks mighty cute, too. You'd think they would have done something with that, but like I said, the spectacles have changed. It's not like there was a martial arts film role to inherit. These things didn't keep going, and just as we're finding the movies themselves are not going to keep going, people are going to be making series. Because you can't get people to go to a theater now. Yeah, you know what? You won back the Harley Davidson, but can you take his bandana as well? You know, put him on both knees. All right, we got our ceremony. You got a big check for me or something? Huh? No? A sword? What do I need a sword for? Would you have let me use a sword during the fight? So you stumped him real good. Ah, yeah. Had a remarkable recovery here. Yep. Still have that bloody gauze thing going. It appears as though I have a hole in my head that will not stop bleeding. Next time you fight, try to keep your clothes on. Whoa, you got the Harley back for me. Awesome. Let's bro it up. Anytime, any place, anywhere. I mean, the guy, Van Damme already gone done give him a kiss on the forehead, weirdly. I love you, my friend. No, there's the kiss move right there. Yeah, there. Me too. Yeah. Make that rom-com edit of Bloodsport. Bloodsport. Frank Dux was lost in the world, but one day he met Ray Jackson. Their bond of friendship kicked off a memorable relationship for ages. Probably should have thought this out more. Oh, we can never catch this guy. He's one step ahead of us every time. You're always late. You know, you're a real pain in the ass. You know that? Like 80s lines right there, guy. I'm just glad you're on our side, kid. Oh, gosh. Reporter's got to say goodbye. And well, I think we're going to freeze frame here and show some made-up stats. I like that sliding of the watch. There we go. Motion pictures based upon true events in the life of Frank W. Dux. All right. You want to show us some of the stuff from 1975 to 1980? Frank W. Dux fought 329 matches. He retired undefeated as the world heavyweight full contact Kumite champion. How many, okay, over the course of 5 years, had that many matches in tournaments? Fastest knockout, fastest punch with a knockout, fastest kick with a knockout, most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament. 56 knockouts in a tournament. Okay, forget cameras that calculated speeds for this stuff. I don't get ones in seconds, ones in miles per hour, but 56 tournament in a single tournament, he fought 56 times. How many people are in the tournament to make that work? Subsequently, Dux founded the first American agency, Dux Ryu. Now, there are videos out there of Frank Dux doing some demonstrations at legitimate competition type setting, like punching through bulletproof glass type stuff. I think you could find that on ESPN2, The Deuce, back in the day. But the thing is about that, hold on, I gotta hit the button here. Otherwise, Netflix starts pulling it over to some other thing. It wants me to watch Twister next. The thing about breaking the bulletproof glass, people will say they shot the glass first to prove that's bulletproof, right? Which also weakens it. So, anyhow, Bloodsport, it's kind of a bad movie that's enjoyable. This is a guilty pleasure type film. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, adios.